On December 24, 1968, astronaut Bill Anders raised his Hasselblad camera toward a window aboard Apollo 8 and accidentally took what many consider the most influential photograph ever captured. He wasn't trying to make history. He was simply looking out the window when something stopped him cold. Earth, floating alone, a fragile blue marble suspended in an ocean of absolute nothing. People called that photo Earthrise beautiful, poetic, inspiring. I call it terrifying. And by the end of this video, so will you. The planet's let's start close to home, because even our own solar system is a place designed to make you feel small, vulnerable, and deeply, deeply insignificant. Take Jupiter. Most people know it as that big striped planet with the red spot. What most people don't register is that the red spot they're casually glancing at is a storm that has been raging for over 350 years, and it is nearly twice the size of our entire planet. That storm is bigger than Earth, and it hasn't stopped spinning since before the American Revolution. But the storm isn't even the part that gets me. Jupiter has no surface. Neither does Saturn. If you fell toward either one, there's no ground to hit. You would just fall through toxic crushing gas until the pressure turned you into nothing. As a kid, I had nightmares about this. As an adult, I've come to realize the nightmare was completely rational. Saturn, though, has something Jupiter doesn't: rings. And those rings, as beautiful as they look in textbooks, introduce us to one of the most psychologically overwhelming concepts in astronomy scale. Now imagine a planet called J1407b. You've probably never heard of it. Scientists named it that because apparently terrifying things don't deserve poetic names. This exoplanet is roughly 10 times the size of Jupiter, which is already incomprehensible, but its rings stretch 150 million kilometers across from one edge to the other. That number means nothing until you realize 150 million kilometers is the distance between the Earth and the Sun. That's a ring system the width of our entire orbit. Something like that is just out there, existing, and we're sitting here thinking Saturn looks impressive. Neptune and Uranus round out the gas giants, and they carry their own brand of dread. Neptune is the farthest planet from Earth so far that the scale models you saw in school lied to you. Those diagrams compress the distances so everything fits on a page. In reality, Neptune is nearly double the distance from the Sun that Uranus is. The solar system isn't a cozy neighborhood. It's a vast, mostly empty desert with a few rocks in it. Before we go any further, if this is making your skin crawl, if your brain is already pushing back against these numbers, drop a comment below. Tell me what part of space scares you the most. Let's find out together just how many of us share this fear. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. What's coming next makes everything so far look minor. The exoplanets A and D, what space actually does. Let's talk about what space actually does to matter. Because once you learn what exists beyond our solar system, the comfortable idea that space is just empty and cold falls completely apart. There is a planet called Gliese 436b. It's roughly the size of Neptune. Its surface is covered in ice. It orbits only 2.5 million miles from its star compared to Mercury, which orbits 36 million miles from our Sun. So Gliese 436b sits 14 times closer to its star than Mercury does to ours. Its surface temperature? 882 degrees Fahrenheit. And yet the ice doesn't melt. It can't. The gravitational pressure from the planet's core is so immense it physically prevents the water molecules from escaping. So instead, the ice burns. Literally, there is a planet in our universe with burning ice. And if that isn't enough, the atmosphere of Gliese 436b contains almost no methane when science says it should be full of it, and instead hosts enormous quantities of carbon monoxide. A planet with burning ice and poisonous air. Then there's HD, Antane 9733b, a planet where winds exceed 5,400 miles per hour, and the atmosphere rains molten glass. Sideways, at those spades. Uranus and Neptune, closer to home, rain diamonds. Actual diamonds. formed under crushing atmospheric pressure, falling like precipitation. Space doesn't follow the rules we grew up with. It has its own rules, and most of them are hostile. Black holes and the edge of understanding. Now we arrive at the thing that, to me, represents the most concentrated terror the universe has to offer. Black holes. The largest black hole ever observed is called TON 618. It is 66 billion times more massive than our sun. And here's the detail that breaks my brain every time. 11 entire solar systems, including everything from the sun out to the edge of the Oort cloud, could fit side by side inside of it. 11 solar systems inside a single black hole. But the size isn't even the most disturbing part. What happens to you if you fall into one is, for a small black hole, you die instantly, torn apart by gravitational forces before you cross the threshold. Unpleasant, but at least it's quick. A supermassive black hole is worse, far worse, because at that scale, the gravitational gradient near the event horizon is gentle enough that you'd cross it and survive for a while. You'd fall in total darkness for what would feel like hours. Meanwhile, due to time dilation, the entire lifespan of the universe would unfold outside. Everyone you've ever loved, every civilization that ever existed, the sun expanding and dying, the last stars burning out, all of it gone while you're still falling. You would outlive the universe and never escape. The size of everything, even all of that, every terrifying planet, every hostile exoplanet, every black hole exists within our observable universe, which itself is only a fraction of what's actually out there. The observable universe is 94 billion light years across. Inside that space, there are an estimated 10 million superclusters. Each supercluster contains hundreds of thousands of galaxies. Each galaxy contains between 100 billion and 1 trillion stars. Each star, on average, has planets. The farthest exoplanet we've ever observed is 27,000 light years away. Voyager 1, launched in 1977, the farthest human-made object in existence, hasn't even left our solar system yet. It won't for another 14,000 to 28,000 years. At minimum, we sent it out anyway. And on board, we placed a golden record 116 images, sounds of Earth, greetings in 55 languages, music, a message from President Jimmy Carter addressed to whoever might find it. No name on the envelope. No idea if anyone will ever open it. Just a small copper disc hurtling through an infinite void, carrying proof that we were here. And if no one ever finds it, that record will travel alone for billions of years. Silent, unclaimed, evidence of a species that existed, wondered, and never found an answer. The real fear the Fermi paradox asks, given how vast the universe is, given how many Earth-like planets exist in habitable zones around their stars, given that the universe is 13.8 billion years old, where is everyone else? We don't know. We have no answer. Maybe life is rarer than we think. Maybe civilizations rise and collapse before they can reach out. Maybe the distances are simply too great, even for signals, even for light. Or maybe we are alone. Both possibilities are terrifying. If we're alone, the universe is an incomprehensibly large, empty room, and we're the only ones in it. If we're not alone, something else is out there, and the silence we're hearing is something we don't yet understand. The fear of space isn't irrational. It's one of the most rational fears a thinking person can have. Because at its core, astrophobia isn't really about stars or black holes or burning ice planets. It's about the questions those things force you to ask. Questions that may never have answers. Carl Sagan once said, "Somewhere, something incredible is waiting to be known." We can approach that something with dread, or we can approach it with curiosity, because every terrifying question space asks us is also an invitation to look further, reach further, and understand more than the generation before us did. The universe is enormous, hostile, and almost certainly indifferent to our existence, and we're going out there anyway. That, more than anything, is what makes us human.